With great power comes great responsibility. Does it sound familiar? Good day, our precious viewers. If you are a fan of Spider-Man, then I am sure you know that those words I said were from Peter Parker, or legendarily known as Spider-Man. Today, we will read another myth entitled Arachne the Spinner, the woman who became a spider. What? A human that became a spider? Yes, you heard it right. Do you wonder how and why? Let us all find out what happened as we read together the story of Arachne and this 9th episode of our virtual storytelling in celebration of the National Reading Month of La Filipina National High School, aired through Salida TV.
Arachne, translated by Olivia Coolidge. A long time ago, in a place called Lydia, lived a young spinner and weaver called Arachne. Lydia had a reputation for producing splendid textiles and had some of the finest spinners and weavers in the world. No spinner or weaver was more talented and gifted than Arachne. Arachne wove all sorts of beautiful pictures into her cloth. Often, the scenes were so lifelike that people felt they could almost touch and feel what was going on. Visitors traveled many miles to see her beautiful work. Not only were her finished products beautiful to look at, but just watching her weave was a sight to behold. Even the nymphs of the forest would stop there, play and look on in wonder. Arachne was rightly very proud of her work, but she was also very arrogant. Her works were so remarkable that observers often commented that she must have been trained by Athena, the goddess of wisdom and crafts, also known for her ability to spin and weave beautiful pictures. Arachne hates this. She often asks why she should be compared as inferior to the goddess. She would tell visitors that the goddess herself could not produce work any better. When the news of Arachne's bold claim reached Athena, she was very angry. But she decided to give the young woman a chance to redeem herself. So one day, she disguised herself as an old peasant woman and went to visit Arachne. She gently warned her to be careful not to offend the gods by comparing her talents to those of an immortal. But Arachne told the old woman to save her breath. She boasted that she welcomed a contest with Athena, and if she lost, would suffer whatever punishment the goddess decided. At this, Athena revealed her true form. The visitors who had come to watch Arachne's weaving were very afraid, but Arachne stood her ground. She had made a claim, and she would prove it. It was decided they would compete by creating a tapestry. The two of them set up their looms in the same room, and the contest began. The mortal Arachne at her loom, and the goddess Athena at hers. They wove from early in the morning until it got too dark to see. The next day, they compared what they had done. Athena had woven a stunning cloth showing the gods and goddesses together on Mount Olympus, doing good deeds for people. A beautiful scene had developed from the threads. Those witnessing the competition marveled at the work produced by the goddess. Arachne, however, had woven a cloth that made fun of the gods and goddesses. It showed them getting drunk and behaving very badly. Nevertheless, so exquisite was the mortal's work that the characters in the scene were lifelike. When Athena saw it, she was even angrier than she had been before. She was forced to admit that Arachne's work was flawless, but the disrespectful choice of subject made her finally lose her temper. Athena destroyed Arachne's tapestry and loom. Then she touched her forehead, making sure that she felt guilt for her actions. Arachne was ashamed, but the guilt was so overwhelming, it was far too deep for a mortal to bear. Realizing her folly, Arachne was crushed with shame. Terrified and in turmoil, she ran into a nearby wood and hanged herself from a tree. Athena had not expected Arachne to take her own life and took pity on her. Sprinkling Arachne with the juices of the aconite plant, Athena loosened the rope, which became a cobweb. Then she said gently the words, "Spin if you wish to spin." At this, Arachne slowly came back to life, but not in human form. For as Athena spoke her words, Arachne's nose and ears disappeared. Her arms and legs became long and slender, and new legs grew beside them. Then her whole body shrank until she was just a tiny little spider. For the rest of her life, Arachne was to hang from a thread and to be a great weaver, and the descendants of Arachne still weave their magic webs all over the earth today.
How did you find the story? Interesting, isn't it? You might have felt sorry for Arachne for what happened to her. At the same time, you might have wanted to tell her that she deserved what happened to her for being so arrogant and disrespectful to the gods. See? It is really not good to be boastful no matter how great we are in everything we do. The story reminds us of humility. We should remain humble despite the overflowing victories that we experience and the lavishness of talents and material things that we possess. If only Arachne remained humble about her skills and at the same time acknowledged the greatness of the gods, she might have not been punished. Having humility will make us real with ourselves. On the other side, pride is the factor that makes us fake. Alright, to check your understanding, let us answer these questions. Whoever can give the correct answer the fastest by commenting your answer will receive a load. You will be given 5 seconds, and when you hear the sound, then time is up. We will announce the winners in the comment section at the end of this broadcast, so pay attention to the questions. Let's start! Number 1. Why does Athena become angry at Arachne in the beginning of the story? A. Athena does not like Arachne's weaving. B. Athena does not like humans who weave well. C. Athena does not like the challenge Arachne has given her. D. Athena does not like the way Arachne brags about her skill. Your time starts now. Time is up, and the answer is D. Athena does not like the way Arachne brags about her skill. Number 2. What makes Athena disguise as an old woman? A. To surprise Arachne. B. To get respect from Arachne. C. To warn Arachne about comparing herself with the gods. D. To reveal to Arachne that she is no other than Athena, a goddess. Your time starts now. Time is up, and the answer is C. to warn Arachne about comparing herself with the gods. Number 3. Based on the story, how can Arachne be described? A. Humble and kind. B. Skillful but boastful. C. Clever and generous. D. Patient but disrespectful. Your time starts now. Time is up. And the answer is B. Skillful but boastful. Number 4. When you are constantly receiving praise from people for what you do because of your remarkable talent, how will you respond to this situation? A. Ignore them, for others may not be actually telling the truth. B. Immediately post your achievements on your social media account. C. Keep up your good work so you will become famous and be known to the world. D. Thank them, at the same time, acknowledge God who is the giver of all things and continue giving your best in everything you do. Your time starts now. Time is up. And the answer is D. Thank them, at the same time, acknowledge God who is the giver of all things and continue giving your best in everything you do. Number 5. How would you manage the situation when you're asked to do something that you cannot do? A. Immediately say no and say nothing to explain yourself. B. Immediately say yes and let other people do it for you and claim later on that it is you who diligently worked on it. C. Say you can't do it, but promise that you will figure out a solution so you can accomplish it. D. Pretend that you can do it, then instantly seek help from anybody whom you know is skillful enough to do it for you. Your time starts now. Time is up. And the answer is C. Say you can't do it, but promise that you will figure out a solution so you can accomplish it. Congratulations for performing well this afternoon. May you apply whatever lesson you learned from our story today. See you tomorrow for another story. I will leave you this quote from Venerable Master Shin Yun. Humility is the key to moral excellence. It is the noblest quality a person can possess. It is the mother of all possibilities. This has been Ma'am Jenaline, your virtual storyteller, only here at Salida TV.
Salida, Filipina, ang iyong pangarap ay kikislap. Salida, Filipina, ang kaunungan ay mapagpuntan. Salida, Filipina, edukasyon, abot kamay. Salida, Filipina, ang tagamay sa tagumpay.
Mga kabataan, huwag panghinaan. Salida la Filipina ay bigyan daan. Ito ay magbibigay ng kaalaman. TV naman ngayon ang inyong paaralan. Mahirap man ang inyong sitwasyon, tayo ay magtulungan para sa edukasyon. Bawat isa ay mayroong misyon, matutong mabuti, maging inspirasyon.
Salida la Filipina, ang iyong pangarap ay kikislap. Salida